Okay, so take a look at our graphs here. I'll kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see that better. But we have a number of different graphs. This first one is just graphing how much of a budget each of the managers has. That's what we're looking at there. Nice little pictorial of that. We can also see what the expenditures were. In other words, how much did each of them spend for each of the quarters, and that would be kind of graphing this area here. And then, of course, the last one here, which is the budget usage, this is actually comparing the percentage used to the percentage what we've got left over. So we kind of see a nice little graph like that, little stacked graph. So it kind of gives you an idea of how much each of them used of their budget, how much they've got left. So again, you know, back to the last video, we're able to see much more clearly the information when you see it in a picture format versus just staring at the numbers. I mean, a lot of people are good with numbers. They can stare at the numbers and see this in their head. But most other people can't see this in their head, and therefore having a nice little picture really helps the matter. Okay, so we'll switch over. Okay, so we're going to do the budget graph. That's going to be this part here. So we're just going to go ahead and select that range right there. Right? Hit insert. We're going to go three-dimensional here, so we'll go with our column here. This one right here. There it is. We'll move that down to the bottom there. And we don't really need a lot of room for this one, so we'll bring this out to about there. And one of the things that might be nice to have different colors for each of the reps budgets there. So we can actually just double click one of the bars. This will open up. We go over in the paint bucket area there, go to fill, and we can actually vary the colors by points. So we click on that changes all the colors for us. That's really nice. We've got the budget up there. We've got everything else. So it's pretty much it. I mean, unless you want to do something, you know, fancy. I suppose we could click onto it, go over into the format area, go to our shape effects. We can give it kind of a little bit of a glow, maybe a greenish glow, like that. We could also go in there and give it a little bit of a shadow. There we go on that one. And we can also, and this might conflict, but we could also go with the soft edges, something like that. And there, you got a pretty nice looking graph there. Okay, kind of fancy that up a little bit. All right, now our next graph is going to be on the 2020 expenditures by each of the reps. We want to see those. So what we'll do here is we'll select that range right there, hold down the control key, and then go with that range there, see? Go back to insert, go back into our graph area there. We'll go with the two-dimensional again. There it goes. And then we'll kind of move this one down right into there. And for the title, we could always just kind of click onto here. And I think probably we just type in a title here. I think we'll just do like maybe 2020 okay, there we go. I think that'll do. I'm also going to put the legend up at the top. So legend at the top. There we go. I can make that, just make it bold. Make that bold maybe. All right, there we go. Now if we take this graph and we squeeze it up a little bit, maybe kind of bring it up to about right here, you're going to see the whole graph kind of stretch or change, where it automatically will turn diagonal all of the managers. And it automatically does that because otherwise it would not be able to fit the way it did before in this less widthed area, right? Less widthed, right? All right, so we'll click back on there. Maybe I'll go back into the format, and we'll go to the shape effects. We'll go to our glow, give this one kind of maybe a pinkish glow. Oh, a little bit more. All right, and we can also make it shadow, and we can also give it the good old soft edges there. So there we go. There's our second one. All right, third and final will be our budget usage. So we'll go ahead and select our managers, Control key. We can select those two at the end. That's what we're graphing. I can close this up, don't need it right now. All right, so I do that. Now I'm gonna go back into Insert, go to my graph, and this time I'm gonna go with a stacked graph, and we can make it two-dimensional, I guess, if we want. And there's the stack, and then we can take that, bring it down here, squeeze it up, and there we go. Now this is kind of a minor thing, but I'd really like to have what I used at the bottom and what I've got left at the top. So like flip the two here. Now to do that, well, I've got this selected. I just go back into my select data, and I've got my left and used here. I can click on one or the other, doesn't matter. Click it. In this case, hit the down arrow. That flips it around. Hit OK. There we go. So that's how much we've used, all right? And then how much is still left. So that's how I wanted to see that. Pretty nice. And again, I can go back in there, go back into the format, go to the effects, give it a shadow, go to the effects, give it a glow, and I think on the glow, it's just one more. I'll make it a little bit more there. Ooh, that's too much. All right, glow, bring it down to that. All right, and then one last thing, we'll do the soft edges. We'll do the last one there, and there we go. So now you've got a nice little set of graphs that are telling a good story at different parts of your worksheet of numbers. So hopefully this is something that gives you some ideas. Hopefully you can use it. I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.